Hello and welcome to our live news update. I am Olubenga George. The headlines. INEC chairman speaks on postponing 2023 elections. Supreme Court suspends February 10 CBN deadline. And on the foreign scene, US briefed 40 nations on diplomats and officials. And in sports, NBA all-time scoring record. LeBron James breaks NBA all-time scoring record.
This is Alive TV.
Now the news in detail. The chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Mahmoud Yakubu, on Wednesday spoke on postponing the 2023 general elections due to the fuel and NAIRA scarcity in Nigeria. As reported by newsmen in Abuja, Yakubu on Wednesday attended the Federal Executive Council meeting, and the weekly FEC meeting was presided over by President Muhammadu Buhari. Yakubu, during the plan, said the forthcoming general elections in the country will hold as planned. There had been concerns about how the fuel and NAIRA scarcity may affect the conduct of the forthcoming presidential and governorship elections on February 25 and March 11, respectively. Away from that, the Supreme Court has restrained the federal government from enforcing the Central Bank of Nigeria's February 10 deadline for the swap of old Naira notes. A 7-member panel of justices presided by Justice John Inyang Okoro in a unanimous ruling on Wednesday, restraining both the federal government and the CBN, ordered commercial banks and other financial institutions must not continue to transact with the old notes pending the determination of the motion at the Apex Court on February 15. The order followed a suit by 3 state governments of Kaduna, Kogi, and Zamfara states challenging the currency redesigning and demonetization policy. Away from there now to the foreign scene, the United States held briefing in Washington and Beijing with 40 diplomats from 40 nations about the Chinese spy balloon that entered U.S. airspace in late January. A senior administration official and diplomat said on Tuesday, the U.S. Deputy Secretary of State, Wendy Sherman, briefed nearly 150 foreign diplomats across 40 embassies on Monday, the official said, while in Beijing, the U.S. Embassy gathered foreign diplomats on Monday and Tuesday to present U.S. findings about the balloon. Analysts did not know the size of the Chinese balloon fleet. U.S. officials spoke of dozens of missions since 2018 across 5 continents, with some targeting Japan, India, Vietnam, Taiwan, and the Philippines. The appearance of the Chinese balloon over the United States last week caused political outrage in Washington and prompted U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken to cancel a trip to Beijing that both countries had hoped would mend frayed relations. Blinken would have arrived in Beijing on Sunday. The Air Force fighter jet shot down the balloon off the South Carolina coast on Saturday, a week after it first entered U.S. airspace. China has said it was a weather balloon that had blown off course into U.S. airspace and was an unexpected isolated incident. It condemned the shoot-down and accused the United States of reacting. In the briefings in Beijing, the United States presented information to demonstrate that the balloon was not a weather research balloon, as China said, but an airship that was used for espionage, said diplomats who attended the discussions. Washington said the balloon was controlled by China's military, the People's Liberation Army. And finally in sports, Los Angeles Lakers star James, 38 years old, hit 38 points in 133-130 defeat by the Oklahoma City Thunder to surpass Abdul-Jabbar's mark of 38,387. Abdul-Jabbar initially broke the scoring record in April 1984, 8 months before James was born. James needed 36 points to break the record. He did with a fadeaway jumper at the end of the third quarter, and he finished the match with a career total of 38,390. An emotional James rose both arms in celebration, while 75-year-old Abdul-Jabbar, who was at the match at the Lakers' home court, stood and applauded. There was a brief break in play for a ceremony to mark the achievement, with James taking a microphone to make a speech on court. Abdul-Jabbar ceremoniously handed over the ball to James to recognize his record in front of a cheering crowd that included tennis legend John McEnroe, music stars Jay-Z, LL Cool J, and Bad Bunny, boxer Floyd Mayweather Jr., and actor Denzel Washington. Four-time NBA champion James is in his 20th season in the NBA, having been drafted first overall by hometown team the Cleveland Cavaliers in 2003. He has been with the Lakers since 2018 and helped them win the 2020 title, which was also the fourth time he has been named NBA Finals MVP. Two-time Olympic champion James has won 4 regular season MVP titles and appeared in the NBA Finals 10 times. And that's all on News Update for today. I am Olubenga George. See you next time.